Sinking, yeah. Sinking, yeah. Sinking, yeah. Welcome to What's Happening. It's a podcast, yeah. Podcast, yeah. Where Shelby and Spencer talk about everything. Today they're talking about laws and maybe a movie or two. And they're also riffing about the blues. So let's start with that first. Let's start with the blues.
The blues.
No, wait. We're journeying all through time and space to discover what's happening to the human race. We don't really care what's happened in the past. Welcome to the What's Happening podcast. The blues. Let's talk about the blues.
The blues.
Hi, I'm Spencer.
Hi, I'm Shelby.
And this is What's Happening. What's happening?
Blue was like not a color for a while, and then it was.
Blue, every color was not a color, and then it was.
No, but in terms of like all the basic colors you see on a day-to-day, blue was like one of the last colors named.
I don't have any water.
I say on a day-to-day, like we understood green.
How would we not understand?
We just didn't like have a word for it. We would just like use other colors to describe it.
That's every color.
No, I'm telling you though,
No,
blue was
I'm telling
later
you.
than others.
No. Wait, you'd use other colors to describe blue? You'd be like, that's green. For blue? Is that what you mean?
Sometimes.
That's dumb. People are dumb. The old people are dumb. Like old people. Like live old people.
Well, I mean, this is... Oh. No.
Are dumb. I don't know a single smart old person. Not one. Are you about to teach me the history of blue and colors?
Basically, they said the color blue is never mentioned in many like Greek texts, but like yellow and red were, obviously white and black were used. They used the description wine dark to describe blue items.
How do you know if they were describing them?
Because they would use other colors.
But how do you know wine dark was them describing blue?
Because they would describe the ocean.
Is the ocean blue?
Yeah, we definitely say the ocean is blue.
No, it's not. It's water. Water doesn't have a color.
The word blue did not even exist in Greek times. It seems this color was barely distinguished from neutral shades.
I guess everything is just whatever the Greeks say.
A lot of things.
Whatever.
Blue appeared last.
Whatever.
Red was the color of wine and blood. Yellow and green, and then blue. But blue took like
So wait,
a
no.
while.
If they're saying that, wait, you said dark wine.
That's what they.
That's what they described the ocean as.
Yeah.
So that means they think the ocean's red.
Nuh-uh.
How does a dark wine look blue? Someone explain.
It doesn't necessarily mean they think it's red. It's just like it was the easiest way for them to describe it with the words they had created.
That's not blue. That's not blue.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you.
It's wrong. That's what you tell me. You tell me they were wrong and I'm right.
Were they wrong? They just didn't know yet.
Also, when I said we were talking about the blues, I didn't want to talk about blue, the color. I wanted to talk about the music.
It's got to start somewhere. If they're using a color to describe a music, where did the color come from?
No, that's a feeling. What happened? What's happening?
Nothing. I feel like I had something in my head like 2 days ago. Like, I'm going to say this at the beginning of the podcast. And guess what?
I ran with it.
I forgot it. No, I completely, like, I woke up today and was like, I don't know what I was going to say.
I made you forget it. No big deal. I'm pretty awesome. What can I say?
Except you're welcome.
What's
going on for you?
Not much, dude. Not much.
How are things?
Yesterday I spent, 6 hours?
Anywhere from like 8 to 10.
I think 5 hours, 5 hours streaming it. And then afterwards, probably like 2, maybe 3 more hours getting a platinum for a almost 10-year-old game. And I got it. It was frustrating, but I got it. So yeah,
So that's been your week?
it's been my week.
Very
It's been what I've
exciting.
been doing.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. But other than that, you know me. Play video games. Go to work. Play more video games. Go to sleep.
Hell yeah.
Wake up. Play some video games.
Are you telling me I do tasks and then I have to go to sleep and wake up and do more tasks?
Mm-hmm.
I'm over it. Over it. So do you want to go first or should I go first? Wait. I have something that's joint.
Okay. Let's do that first.
We were told to find out what our love language is. So we each took the test. All right, next one.
What?
You
That's
look
it?
very bored.
No, what? Go ahead. We each took the test, then what?
Then we found out what our love language is.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
That's it. Would you say you learned anything from your learning your love language?
It's Latin. Love it when you speak Latin to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean,
Your love language is Latin.
we were surprised because when our friend Ian told us to take it to figure out what we are, you and I both said that we thought mine would be physical touch.
Yes.
Very, very cuddly, huggy person. Behold, though, quality time.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, but it does totally make sense.
I mean, physical touch is second.
Yes, it is. Yes. Quality time was 37% for me. Physical touch was 27. Words of affirmation, 17. Acts of service was 17, which, like, I don't know. I mean, the last three, receiving gifts was 3. I definitely don't think words of affirmation and acts of service are on the same playing field for me. I would think words of affirmation is more. But even that, I don't really need. Like, I definitely am just quality time. Physical touch. Are you about to hit me?
Mm-hmm. Physical touch.
But yeah.
Anyway.
What? I didn't know what else you wanted. What else do you want me to say to
No,
that?
it was just funny because I don't even know why we were our friend Ian called us and was like, "What's your love language?"
Yes.
And
I said that.
I don't know.
Are you listening to me?
I don't know why.
Do you just ignore me when
I don't know
talk on here?
why he wanted to know our love languages, but I was like, in my
Because
head,
he's trying to get in here on the action.
it's true. In my head, I was like, do all of our friends need to take this now? Like when we were
No.
all taking the anagram test in
No.
high college?
No.
Do I need to know?
I didn't even need to know that. I don't care.
That's
I don't
fine.
care about my friends.
Okay. But yeah, mine's also at quality of time.
Mhm.
So we were both the same on that.
Mhm.
But for some reason, physical touch was the dead last one for me.
Which is,
Makes sense.
yeah, but it's just scary because, like, acts of service is your second highest.
And it's pretty close to quality time.
And I do nothing for you.
Yeah.
And then receiving gifts is higher than physical touch. And I never get you anything.
I mean, I think
You are though. You are such a slut for receiving gifts. It's really funny. Like you very much don't. Or at least I've always assumed this. So hopefully this is right.
Slut for receiving gifts.
But like you've always been like, I don't need gifts and stuff like that. But when you are given a gift, you are like,
It
you're
makes my heart
so
warm.
obnoxious. You like very much, I can tell you think like, wow, I'm so special that I just got this gift, and it's really funny. Like it's not. I say that.
What
and
else
it's
do you
not,
hate about me?
No. It's not in like a negative way whatsoever. It's very like, it's very cute that you're like, I'm so special. I got this gift. You're very much that type of person. And it's really funny.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's just like I love to give gifts to people, and like
Where are my gifts?
you said you didn't want any.
Mm.
For the past 5 years, you've said you don't
That's
want
a
any.
test.
It's a test that I keep failing because I keep giving you gifts.
Yeah.
But
Seriously. This
so
was the first year that you did good.
I technically
You did
gave you
good.
a gift.
What'd you give me? That doesn't count.
It was technically a gift. But
That's
anyway,
like when you got me the fucking book on apartment plants.
I would put this at a better level than that book.
But no, from the standpoint that, like, that's for both of us. It's a decoration.
If it was for both of us, I'd have my animals on it.
Well, you should have done that, and you were going to.
I was going to.
So.
Anyway. No, it's just that I love to give people gifts, and especially, like, random gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And I get so excited to give them. So, like, my heart gets real warm when I get one because it's like, wow, this person wanted to give me something that's really meaningful.
Yeah, but sometimes people have to give you a gift and you think you're so fucking special.
Yeah, when it's my birthday, I demand gifts every day of the month.
Not what I was talking about, but sure.
Do you want to talk about it?
Nope.
You want to talk about it? But yeah, it's interesting that our overall is the same, but every other category is completely different for us.
I agree. Yeah. Were you surprised isn't the right word? Like,
did I expect mine to be different?
No. Were you, well, sure.
I mean, I didn't really know what I didn't know what all 5 were,
Same.
but
Sure.
I knew for sure mine wasn't touch. I remember that being one of them. And I figured it would be some kind of, like, either, like, time or basically something that's just, like, spending time together. Or I think my brain was, like, it would probably be, like, doing things for each other. Like, that's kind of what my brain was, like, figuring it would be in something like that. But I didn't know every single category. Sorry, what were you gonna ask?
I don't know.
You just started saying, do you...
No, I was gonna say, like, were you, when you saw that we were both quality time, were you like, yeah, no, that makes sense?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because we literally spend every minute of every day together.
Yeah, basically.
We do.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not shocking. We're both people who just, like, enjoy being around each other, or people we like to be with.
It goes for not even just you and me. Like, I would take, like, a weekend with friends over $100,000, maybe. Like, any day.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I wasn't that shocked about it. And our friend Ian was also quality time, so we all just love spending time together.
Or was he?
No, he sent it to me, and him and I were, I think, pretty close in similar things. But I think his physical touch was higher. Yeah, he was also quality time. Yep. Yeah, his were similar to mine, except our bottoms are switched. So he likes physical touch a little bit more than receiving gifts. Just a little. No.
You know how percentages work?
I thought they were listed on order. They're not.
Can you
just
imagine?
Kidding.
Can you imagine being the dumbest person on this podcast?
Just kidding. Receiving gifts is a second. Anyway, we're the same basically. It's
You're
fine.
not at all.
That's really funny because
Acts of service is his lowest, and that's your second highest.
I read them in order. I didn't realize they were in percentages, and I said, oh my god, we're like the same, and he didn't say anything. And now that makes sense as to why he didn't say anything. Anyway.
Wow.
What were you going to talk about?
So I found something that I thought was really interesting. You know how people on the internet sometimes are really bad at getting across their voice? Do you ever notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're typing something, it's really hard
to speak like a human.
To like give the same emotion and energy to like sarcasm. It's its own language. And some people can pick up on it over text. Some people can't.
I mean, I think there's varying levels. Like, do you know the person? Yep. Are you used to how they text?
Right.
Stuff like that.
And so I go on Twitter quite a bit, and I saw a post, and I went into the comments because I love reading comments. It's what gives me energy, reading people say just the dumbest things and then watching them get torn apart. And somebody said something that I read as sarcasm, but there was nothing there other than just the message. I mean, he had an exclamation point at the end of it. To me, when I read it in like an obnoxious way, like,
yeah,
and then ended it with the exclamation point. But somebody got very defensive and was like, this is what you took from it? Like, not realizing that it was a joke being made.
Or reading it as not being a joke.
Right. And so the person then was like, I thought this was very clearly a joke. And somebody was like, no, it's not a joke. And somebody else responded to that and was like, well, this is Poe's law. So I had to look up what Poe's law is.
Something factual being posted on Twitter. I'm about to learn.
According to a Wikipedia article.
Factual.
It's just an overview of it. Wikipedia is fine. Everybody needs to shut
agree.
the fuck up.
I'm just being obnoxious.
High school teacher.
Shut up.
Shut your fucking mouth.
I got all my shit off Wikipedia anyway. Okay, so stop.
All right. Poe's law is an adage of internet culture stating that without a clear indicator of the author's intent, it is impossible to create a parody of extreme views so obviously exaggerated that it cannot be mistaken by some readers for a sincere expression of the views being parodied. And then it goes on to say the original statement by Nathan Poe, who this is apparently named after, without a winking, smiley, or other blatant display of humor, it is utterly impossible to parody a creationist in such a way that someone won't mistake for the genuine article. I just thought that was so fascinating. Like, I love using Schrodinger as, like, my overall, like, this situation is Schrodinger's X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. And a post such as this is like Schrodinger's tweet because it is simultaneously sarcasm and not sarcasm at the same time.
Just depending on who you are, how you read
it's a little
things.
Different because there's no way to, and until you specifically ask, you don't know, essentially, is the thing. And I just found it so interesting that, like, yes, this is like the phenomenon that you can say something, and because there's no definitive way to tell whether it is sarcasm or not sarcasm, someone will always read it as one, and somebody else will always read it as the other. Mm-hmm. Found it so interesting.
I think that explains a lot of the internet.
Yeah.
Not that there obviously aren't just like things that shouldn't be said, but there are obviously a handful of scenarios that like people try to say something sarcastically and they're immediately met with both LOLs and why would you say that and blah blah blah. And I mean, I see it, I mean, it's everywhere online because you're taking away the human aspect of speaking. But the amount of people I see have to go back and be like, guys, I was kidding, which then you were saying yesterday and talking about this, you're like, the people who thought it was serious are going to see that as just like a lame defense, like you just going back on your word almost
the
in a way.
I'm joking.
Yeah.
But it was actually a joke.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, you hope, obviously.
Yeah.
But
and it's one of those situations where had you read it as a joke, had you not assumed that it was serious and rather you assumed it was parody or sarcasm, it was funny. Like, it wasn't an instance of somebody just saying something that's not funny and then like it was just basic sarcasm
to someone who probably easily speaks in sarcasm,
right? And so it wasn't like the bad defense of like it's a joke. It was very much like, you read that wrong.
Yeah,
like that is not how I intended. Which I think happens a lot on the internet, like you said.
I agree. But there's also the side, you can't, I mean, not that I think like people are getting mad at others for misinterpreting their sarcasm and assuming it's serious, but there obviously like is a level of like, it's not always like, well, you didn't get my intention. Like, it truly is about the perception. You can't always just blame a misperception. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely
you can't
not.
just like outward blame that.
You as the
speaker,
the jokester, need to make it clear.
Yeah, absolutely, that's part of it.
So saying I thought this was clearly a joke, well, it wasn't.
Then you kind of goofed and maybe you need
trying to think of like another situation like that where it's like you can't just say like, well, I thought this was this, like, but it wasn't. So you're fired, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That can't just be your
fallback, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I end up doing that sometimes where it's like, whoa, that's not what I meant. Like, but again, I mean, I don't know why I'll like forever remember in high school, our senior year, we had a teacher who made like, that was like their finishing lesson of class, right? Like our junior year? I don't remember. And they were like, one of the biggest lessons I was ever taught was like, when you feel there's been a miscommunication between like two parties, it's not always just about your intention. It's more often about their perception. And like, you can't make them feel bad that they perceived you wrong. Like you messed up somehow, whether you intended to or not.
You
like,
as the communicator,
you messed up. More. Yeah.
Yep.
They're like, so whether you need to clearly communicate, whether you just need to outright apologize, even if you feel you didn't do anything wrong, it's about like their perception, not your intention.
That's the thing that I always think about. Like, I obviously love to joke around, and I always think that like there are times where I like realize I may be going like too far, and I will have to tell somebody like, just so you know, I am not being serious, like, at all. I'm joking. This is all just jokes, stuff like that. And it's normally at that point when I realize that I'm like, maybe I should stop, because I'm clearly like drawing a harsh line and all that. And I often think about like, if I were ever in a situation where like I'm clearly to myself joking around, it's always so much easier to just apologize and realize that like it just wasn't funny, or what I was trying to do wasn't good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm of the mindset that like just because like you're having a bad day and stuff like that doesn't mean that I'm not going to still try and be funny, and like maybe it'll cheer you up. If it doesn't, I missed, and then I apologize. But I'm always going to try, right? I'm always of that belief, and that makes me an asshole. I know it, but yeah, I think just people need to be better about just like owning up and being like, yeah, that wasn't good. I'm sorry.
I don't mean to do this, but did you ever clap at the beginning, or did you just start singing?
Yeah, no, I clapped.
Okay. My brain wasn't remembering a clap, and I panicked.
Well, there goes mine. Yeah, my segment's done. So thanks.
No, that's not what I was trying to do.
No, but anyway, post law, really interesting, and
yes,
like it was just super, like something that I had never known, and it's been a thing for a while. Yeah,
like when roughly, the way it was written, it feels it feels like an older thing, but clearly,
well,
it's
from 2005 on ChristianForums.com. That's what's talking about creation.
Oh,
that's where the creationist thing comes into play. But that's always been a thing on the internet,
right?
To like, like we like, again, like we said at the beginning, like without like tone and body, that's why you can't read sarcasm in texts. Like you have to know the person to know that they're being sarcastic, and even still, like there are going to be times where you heavily question it, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, yeah, and you said it, like no matter how obvious you thought it was, it doesn't matter, because it's always going to be on the person's perception. You have to, without a doubt, 100% know that the perception is going to be X or Y or Z, which is obviously almost never the case to begin with, to actually think that like your defense is like worthy enough to say like, this was clearly a joke, like everybody else read it like this. And so many people responded to this person and were like, you're a piece of shit, like you're terrible, and they gave up on trying to defend themselves. But yeah, it's crazy.
The internet, man. I mean, yeah, but then that blends into like a whole interesting thing of like how heavily now we analyze just like a text message. Did it have a period? Did it not have a period? Did they capitalize?
If you put a period at the end of like, okay, you are terrible.
Like I feel like to most people, or at least to like probably younger people who've been using technology, like that feels like the sassiest remark ever. Whereas like I think a lot of, at least in my experience, older people were doing it because that's how you grammatically send a message. like grammatically speaking, that was a sentence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so like we always joke like, oh my god, my parents just okayed me or whatever. Or like when they start to use short form text and they just K me, then you're like, what did I do to piss off my parents? Like, why are they K'ing me? But like they're just short form texting. Like, it makes you analyze literally everything, and it's really funny. And it's like, oh well, like this is the emoji I use for when something's really funny, but like this person uses this emoji, like does that mean something a little bit different? Or yeah, sending 1 exclamation point can mean anger, but sending 2 or 3 can mean excitement, or like internally screaming or something. Like, it's such little things that like obviously you can form that habit around your friends and whatnot, but like it's still like you now sit here and just like it's a whole language in its own. But
yeah,
very interesting. So speaking of maybe over reading into things, what do we love more? Nope, that doesn't even make sense. We love
video games, movies,
generations,
TV shows,
shitting on other generations.
We
don't
talk about
that
this.
was sarcasm, just to be clear.
I don't want to talk about this.
No, it's like very little.
Did you put a winky face at the end of the message?
I didn't do anything.
Without that, how am I to know that was sarcasm?
I'm on this Facebook group, and I'm not going to say what it is because I do enjoy the Facebook group, but it's just it does tend to lean towards a older audience on this Facebook group. And I don't think I've ever posted anything. I just kind of like lurk and I read things and whatnot. And someone posted
Exclamation point lurk. Thanks for the lurk.
Someone posted, again, this is such a small thing. They posted a handwritten recipe that like their grandmother or maybe great grandmother had written out on a piece of paper. And this person who posted it was definitely like my parents' age. So now their grandparent or great grandparent wrote out this recipe, right? And they posted it. And their comment was basically, what a shame people today wouldn't be able to read this. Because it's cursive. I don't think mine... No, I guess it is.
Very
anyway,
cool.
Sorry. I was so distracted by how your mic would just bend. I was like, what? Mine doesn't do that? And to which my first reaction was just like a guttural, like, want to die, because I'm like, of course, like you can't just post something and be like, wow, look at what I found, this cool family thing. You have to turn it into like, what a shame, kids today just can't do this, kids today. And again,
90s kids remember reading cursive.
And
you won't believe where these 3 Disney stars are now. Sorry.
And I rolled my eyes really hard, and I was like, this didn't need to be something, but okay, fine, let's attack a generation who quote unquote doesn't know how to read cursive. I don't know where this line ends on like who can and who can't. I know we learned how to write in cursive.
I can read cursive.
I can read cursive. Are there occasionally just like handwriting I can't read? Yeah, but I could read like 90% of what this man posted. But I was like, could my sister? I think so. Like, I don't know. I guess I should send it to her and find out.
It looks the same. It looks the same as regular writing. It's just flowy.
I know, it's really
There's still spaces, so you can still see what a word is. Like, bread still looks like bread written in cursive. Like, it's the same. It's literally the same. It's not that hard to pick up on.
It's not. It's really not.
Like, think about with, right? With,
yeah.
The word with,
yeah.
WITH is literally W, flow into an I.
That has a little flick on the top.
Flow into a T, flow into what looks exactly like a fucking H.
Yeah.
It just flows together.
Yeah.
It's just super flowy.
So I rolled my eyes.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I have to read the comments because I know the general age group.
Read them.
Age group of this Facebook group. I was like, it's a lot of parents, a lot of like in that age genre roughly. So I was like, well, this is what I'm really gonna find out. Do like all parents like hate that kids can't do, or like I don't know what he's mad about, that we don't write in cursive, that we don't everyday read cursive. I don't know what this person's mad about. And 1 or 2 was like, yeah, it's a bummer, but they were like, yeah, it's unfortunate that it's like a lost art form, cursive, a lost art form.
Oh my God. But first Latin, now cursive.
But they were like, but you know, like school systems change, like I'm sure they're learning things different than like we were, blah blah blah. And literally one person who I'm going to believe was roughly our age, maybe a little bit older, but I think was like trying to like defend our generation, right? They came in and they were like, I can read this. I don't know what you're talking about. And they said, there are 2 areas I can't read, but it's because it was like 4 letters smushed together.
Oh, you can't read those 4 letters smushed together?
And
it was clearly with.
And so they circled it. They like circled the letters and they were like, I can't read the, and they were like genuinely wanting to know the recipes. Not like they were trying to like prove a point. They were like, I want to know what it says. Like, and they circled it and resent it. And people were just like, sucks, you can't read that. And they were like, can someone tell me what it says? I can't read it. Like, it's smushed letters.
My God.
Like, what are you talking about?
Why?
So then I Googled.
Why?
I went to my favorite place on the internet, which is like 10-year-old forums. This is my favorite place on the internet. And I just Googled why. I think my actual search was, is it bad that schools don't teach cursive anymore? Because I figured let's really go for like the, how do we feel about this on a personal level? And Quora.com came through.
As they always do.
With why have schools stopped teaching cursive writing? This was like the closest thing I could find.
Schools hate our children?
So there were...
That's the name of my article.
There were a couple different, but really I want to highlight one person's response because it just made... No, it's not bad.
Okay. This is just making me so mad.
It's really... I really overall found pretty middle ground responses. Like some people were basically like... It does bum me out we don't use this because I don't know why. I guess they really like cursive. Like they just like cursive and they wish it continued.
Lost art form.
Yeah, lost art form.
R.I.P. Cursive.
Also,
2021.
this made me want to fight. Someone was like, how are kids even signing their names anymore?
What do you mean?
You still learn how to sign your name. It's your name.
They're just flowy letters. Fuck.
I was like, you still have to learn how to sign your name. I don't understand.
My God. Who cares?
Also, who cares?
Timmy's name is so easy to write. It's just a T and a lot of flow. Just a lot of... With a Y. With a noodle Y at the end. Okay, read your fucking thing.
Anyway. And someone started their response. I really hope this is the one. I think so. It was very long-winded. I'm going to just pick parts.
I'm seeing you scroll, and this is just killing me.
No, but they just said,
okay,
because there simply isn't time. Which this is a point. What drives teachings nowadays are state-mandated testing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get tested on cursing.
Right.
What does this mean?
You're taught the history of swear words. Nicolas Cage comes into your classroom and goes, fuck.
No, your teacher goes, today we're going to watch a movie.
Bitch.
And don't turn on the lights, I have a headache. And then pulls out Nicolas Cage. That's what happens.
National treasure.
National treasure. So they were basically going from the standpoint of like, it's most likely because more and more like schooling is becoming very regulated and like what everyone should be learning. And just like the teacher had to be like, do we give time to cursive or do we give time to these other things so these kids are prepared for these tests they now have to take every like how many years, right?
Which yeah, okay. Fucking Christ.
So also, they brought up the point, I believe it was them or it was someone else. They were like, there's now technology courses in schools that are being taught at a younger and younger age. I mean, we were taking computer classes in elementary school.
Wait a second. Yeah.
Like anyway, those take the time of these things.
Okay. Let me know when you're done. I have a mini rant that I'm ready to go on.
Basically, also someone else
Go ahead.
Someone else said they grew up in the age of writing in cursive, and they said, I don't know why we would continue to teach it.
The age of Aquarius.
The age of Aquarius. Because they're like, I don't know why we would continue to teach it, because they're like, the point of cursive was largely when there was like pens and even like quills, if we want to go back that far. And they were like, you never would have been able to write how we write today. It would have been blotches all over a paper. That's why there was limited raising of a pen, and hence cursive, to like make it go faster, be cleaner. And they were like, that's how we had to learn. They were like, in today's day and age, there's no point. Like, why would I teach it to people? Like, what are we carrying it on for?
We don't write anymore. We don't physically write that much anymore.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing too, which someone else was like, when will writing even be like, will writing die out at some point?
Okay.
It was just it was way more middle ground than I expected.
Okay. Why do people need to try and shit on other people
I don't know.
to make themselves feel better. Listen here, fucking boomer, who said...
Well, now you're talking down on other people.
No, I am.
Well, you just said why people do that.
Because he goes, shut up. He goes, real shame that kids don't know how to write in cursive and read this anymore. Yeah, real shame you don't know how to use that fucking iPad that I'm beating you over the head with. Like, what? Like, you wouldn't want somebody giving you shit for not knowing how to use technology, which is definitely more useful nowadays than fucking cursive. Like, shit changes. Like, no shit, cursive's not needed anymore. Like, and I still don't understand the original point of shame people can't read it. Who can't? That you're just saying that people can't read? Is that the issue here? That you're upset that people can't read? Or that people can't read cursive? Because if people can read, I'm sure they can read cursive. It's not that hard. It looks the same as regular letters, just more flowy. What letter in cursive doesn't look like its exact counterpart in regular writing? Give me one.
I don't know. The capital I used to throw me off.
It
did not.
Yes.
It didn't actually, but it looks pretty different.
It doesn't look like
if
a capital
you just
I.
saw
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Without knowing.
Yep. Capital I.
It would probably just be capital letters, if anything. Like, I'm trying to picture.
Dude, a fucking capital D.
Oh, well, no. I'm not
Is
saying
a
all
D.
capital letters. I'm just saying in my head right
capital
now,
S?
if I were to get caught up on anything.
Capital S?
Capital S is kind of fucky.
Capital G.
Yeah. Like, letters like
Sure.
those would probably be the most, I'm going to say the most weird.
But if
to just see
somebody's
them.
writing like a love letter to Geralt,
Geralt.
and they're writing his name in cursive, when I see the ERALT, I think I'm going to know that it's a motherfucking G at the beginning. Like, Jesus. I'm just so sick and tired of this. I'm so sick and tired of people just having to give other people shit about something that they can do that other people can't to make themselves feel better about themselves. You live a sad life. Go find something better to do with your time. Hone in on another skill that you can shit down people's throats about. But don't, because you're going to spend that time learning another skill and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. You're wasting your breath. Nobody cares about you. You're insignificant.
Stop.
Brownie man.
Stop.
Were they brownies?
What?
Brownies. Were they brownies? Were they making brownies? Was that the recipe?
I don't know what the recipe was for. I didn't
'Cause you
really
couldn't
read
read
it. I couldn't. It's not that I didn't want to read it. I couldn't. No, I'm joking.
No, but seriously, people like that are just super annoying, and that makes me really mad. Like, don't like. How about this? If you're upset about people not understanding how to read cursive, take the time to teach people how to read cursive. If that's something that's so important to you, don't just stand idly by shaking your fist at the clouds. Like, stop, think about it. Is it worth your time? It's not to teach somebody how to do it? Then shut the fuck up about it.
True. Yeah, no, I agree. This all like came from me just like kind of rolling my eyes being like, why did this have to turn into like a people today?
A chance to dunk on other people.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm extra mad about this right now is because of the whole Texas thing. Right now, Texas is out without power because of like to what a northern state would see as like not that bad of snow. That being said, from Pennsylvania, we've seen how Pennsylvania deals with roads.
They're not great at it.
They fucking suck at it.
They're shit at dealing with it, yeah.
Do you know how much snow? I mean, we get 3 to 4 snowstorms every year where we get like easily like half a foot of snow. And somehow it's like, we didn't see this coming. It happens every fucking year. Like, no shit, a state that never gets snow isn't prepared. Yeah. And like, it's always funny when like...
And it's massively damaging their systems because their systems never have to deal with this.
North Carolina, I think, gets some snow. Give me a southern state that like doesn't get a ton of snow. That's like... That might get like one... They'll get like one snowstorm a year where they get like 2-3 inches.
I don't know, probably any...
Sure, let's just say North Carolina. Like, we would laugh about it because they would get a coating on the roads and it would be like...
I mean, yeah, people,
no school, everything's canceled.
People send memes where it's like, in the Midwest, it's like... It's piled and kids are still going to snow, but in like California, say something for some reason California gets hit with something, like whenever they get a little bit of snow in certain areas, it'll be like, oh no, we can't do anything. And obviously when you compare state to state, memes are sent around like, LOL, they get shut down over this, but over here we have feet and like we're still going. Because your whole system is built upon you being used to deal with that.
Yes. And what I was going to say is the people who get an inch of snow, literally an inch, and they have to shut down, and then the next day it's all melted and everything's fine. Funny. We can all laugh about it. Ha ha ha. Crazy. What's happening in Texas isn't that. Like, people are going to probably die because of this shit. It is so fucking bad. This isn't funny. This isn't your chance to dunk on Texas. As much as Texas may deserve to be dunked on, now's not the time. Now is not the time. Like, holy shit. And people are using this as the time. Like, they're like, well, this makes me feel better about myself. Texas is always walking around with their big boy pants on saying that they don't need any help. And now they're asking for help. Ha 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 ha. Texas, a bunch of fools. Like, are you an insane person? That's my issue with this.
No, I get that. Yeah.
That's what it all circles back to. I don't understand the
need, the incessant need that we have right now to just
to watch other people struggle, suffer, to shit on people for something. Like, if you feel that passionately about something, then you work to change it.
I would say in a way that's kind of what made me like deep dig into this further, because I just am also in a similar place of like, why are we still fighting with each other over like, I mean,
also Cursive has got to be the most ridiculous.
That's what I was gonna say. Why are we fighting each other over nothing? Like literally nothing. I'm not including Texas in that when I say nothing. Yeah. Why are we fighting over such stupid, unnecessary things? Just because
there's got to be something else. There's got to be something else.
Definitely.
Like, no, I'm saying like school related that we weren't taught that like.
Oh, I'm sure. Plenty of things. Are you kidding me? I'm sure if I called my mom right now, she would be like, you did learn these things in school that I didn't, and I learned these things in school that you didn't.
I was going to say, but like, again, we're like learning like more about technology.
Exactly.
School does not prepare you for what's next at all. It's what it's supposed to do. It doesn't, because it's teaching you shit that doesn't fucking matter. So the little bit that it does do when you like do learn about technology and stuff like that, because that's something that actually matters, that's like the good that you can take from it.
Listen, I learned you can carry an egg around in a tissue box for 2 weeks and not break it. And that teaches you how to be a good parent. And that's all I needed to know. Now I can be a parent. And if you break that egg, you fail. You can never be a parent. My God. Fuck, when they were learning cursive, a girl couldn't take fucking woodworking. Like, you couldn't take tech, what our tech ed was. A girl couldn't take that class. Yeah, we need to get back there. Let's build everything off of the system. Back to teaching cursive and back to no girls allowed. Like, what the hell? My mom used to like complain because she like hated, I guess it was called like home ec, like so much, because they would just have twice as much of that, whereas we had it split in half because everyone learned everything. And she would complain about it. She's like, I literally don't want to be here. Like, this isn't what I want to be doing. And it's like, yes, let's completely like, and I'm not saying there still aren't things that like are fucking broken. There absolutely are. Dude, but there always have been. There always has been. Like the fact that like we spend so much time learning shit we don't need to learn is just mind-boggling to me. And then they go, well, I'm preparing you for college. You're going to have to read 12 books a night for college. You're going to have 3 hours of math homework for college. So just be happy I'm only giving you, 1 book and 1 hour of math homework. And then you go to college and you're done with class by noon, and then you can, fucking trip on acid for the rest of your afternoon, and then show up to class 2 days later. You don't have that class the next day. So then the next day, the day in between the classes, you have class on Monday, you don't have it on Tuesday. You take 12 minutes out of your Tuesday and you do your homework for that class and you're done, because all you had to do was like analyze, whatever Holden was doing with the catcher mitt in the rye bush or whatever the fuck. And then you go and play ultimate frisbee with your bros in the quad. That's college. It's college. We're compiling a lot of arguments into one thing right now. We are. It's so crazy that college is actually closer to shifting. College is like elementary school with recess. College is actually closer. Shut your mouth. College is actually closer to movies, which are so blown out of proportion, than what high school says they're teaching you to get you ready for college. Spencer, 2020. 2021, shit. Nope. I'm running. Bring me back. Yes. I don't even know what to go with at this point. We've changed the direction of our arguments and anger 4 times at this point. But no, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I could yeah, I think a lot of things don't actually work, aren't compatible, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think in the end we just need to like stop being angry with other people, and I say that to myself as much as like saying it saying it elsewhere. Like I'm focusing very heavily right now, just like my anger towards someone who just said something completely useless. It's not like it helped anything. It's not like it hurt anything. It was just a useless comment. My anger at that human isn't going to change anything.
To the moon.
It's effectively doing a similar thing that they're doing.
Right.
And so it's not helping. And that's like, I've really been trying to say that in my head because I'm mad at a lot of people right now, just like how dumb people are being over situations, and like being angry at other people. And I'm just like, why? And I'm getting angry. Like, why are we angry at people? And which doesn't help anything. And not that I don't think people need to be told off sometimes. I absolutely think that. But there's this weird middle area where we're attacking every human being who's just like saying a pointless comment that again doesn't help or hurt what is being said. They just felt like saying something. There's this whole gray area of stupid comments.
I think my anger a lot of times just is like, why? Like, why did you feel the need to say this thing? I agree. And like, I don't waste my energy in actually like saying something to those people. I've got 20,000 other people who read that and are already attacking that person. Bit overdone, whatever. But you're kind of right. It's one of those things where it's like, at that point, after one person has already said like, why would you do this? And then 30 other people have to also say something along those lines. A lot of times there's always that one person who's just like, yeah, you should probably go fuck yourself and like die in a hole. And it's like, that's not helpful.
Exactly.
Either.
You're literally you're doing the same thing.
But you'll get like somebody else who says like the exact thing that the first responder, we salute. Like the thing that person said, like you'll get somebody who says something like basically the same as that. And it's just like, yeah. Why? Like, did you not? You took the time to read this first person's comment, and now you're responding to it. Did you not see the person who already said, "Why would you say something so stupid?" Like that, you feel the need. No, like the person already is responding to that other person. They're not going to see what you're saying. So you saying, "Why did you say that?" isn't helping anything. Like they're not all of a sudden going to be like, "Now that two people have asked me why I said this, I'm really going to start thinking about my life and like the actions that I take."
Even as you said, you're like, I don't take the energy.
Don't waste your breath. I don't take the energy.
I don't take the energy to say something, but like. I know you and I both take the energy to let it sit in our heads for
dude, the amount of stuff that lives rent free in my head. If you're at a gas station, fucking pull through. Don't stop at the first one. Get out of your truck. Look at the fucking Dodge Durango behind you with two fucking dumb, fresh out of college people and go.
Stares blankly at them.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is audio too.
No, it's okay. You're doing great. You can picture the blank stare. And then
throw stuff away and then keep looking at us. And then you start pumping at the back pump. Are you fucking dumb? So anyway. I let stuff live rent free in my head all the time. I got into a Twitter argument with somebody.
Oh, God.
About the Cardinals. And that lives rent free in my head because that person thought I wasn't a Cardinals fan. And I love the Cardinals. And they were like, well, I've seen every single Cardinals game. I try to watch them all. And I was like, cool story, bro. Me too. Does that all of a sudden make you an expert? Because I watch, I watch every Thursday night football game. And I'm not an expert on football. I fucking hate that shit. Anyway, what are we talking about? What else are we talking about? This is what always happens with what's happening. You bring up something, I'm blaming you. Okay. You bring up something, and then I just go off.
Do I live rent free in your head?
Hell yeah, you do. You live rent free in this apartment.
Oh shit! I walked right into that one.
Oh my god, that was funny.
That whole podcast is worth that comment right there.
That was a good one.
That was for you.
No, but I feel like a lot of times because you bring up like, you just bring up these like types of things.
These little squabbles I find on the internet.
They're always things that they're like these deep rooted things that I just get so mad about, and then I end up going on like a long ass rant, and then you try to bring up a point, and then I go shush. I'm not done yet. I'm still doing my Godzilla versus Kong. I'm doing my Godzilla versus Kong title match thing and all that. So anyway, this is what always happens on What's Happening. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay.
If you guys hate listening to me talk about this stuff, write into What's Happening at Yahoo at hotmail.com. At Yahoo at hotmail.com
/AOL.
/AOL. hyphen big titted girls in your area. And yeah, let us know that you hate it, and I'll stop.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we got a bit ranty, but it's fine.
Every episode, I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't really care. I mean, there are things that like, even though I know like I bring up pretty middle, like pretty small level things, but I would say most of them do connect to like something bigger that's just like either annoying or like stupid or whatever. But yeah, that's it. You what? Good. Yep.
I do genuinely always think that I try to, when I do go on these rants, I try to be a little over the top with things. Like, I am actually mad, but also I'm trying to make a bit more of a show out of it. I'm trying to be funny. I'm not like, sometimes I am actually this mad. But like, I'm also like, I hope you find it funny when I go on these rants. Do you find it funny?
It depends.
Because like,
I would say most other people do though.
Yeah. People like to see me, get frustrated, and I like getting overly frustrated about really small things because I also find it funny in the end. You can go on a rant about anything. Give me something. I'll do it right now.
Nope. All right. So I think we're gonna wrap this one up here. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching on YouTube. You can find us on any podcast listening platform. Why do we say that at the end of the podcast? You've already found us.
Well, if you want to find us somewhere else, you can.
Just look for us. What's happening?
If you're listening to us on Spotify, but you're kind of like thinking like, I don't really want to use Spotify anymore. Hey, it's all right. You can listen to us over on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to us on Google Podcasts. You can listen to us on YouTube, Bumble Podcasts. You can listen to us on YouTube. Yeah, you have options.
But yeah, you can.
If you can, leave a review.
Yes.
I believe Apple Podcasts is the only one that you can. If you can't leave a review, go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review.
Share it with a friend.
Yeah, definitely. Anywhere else, just share it. That's greatly appreciated. And yeah, I don't know if you said this right. You can find us on our socials. Mm-hmm. You can let us know that you did. Did you?
This is such a mess.
You can
find us.
You can finish it, Shelby. Go ahead.
That's it. I was just gonna say you can find us. And that's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this angry episode. Just like always.
They're just flowy letters. That's all they are.
They're just flowy letters. See you in 2 weeks.
See you next podcast.
See you next podcast.
Bye.